believe in creativity, a word that I have begun to identify with throughout my life, a word that has impacted every action that I do, a word that has caused me to begin each sport that I play or each decision that I make to show what I want or feel. This sounds cliche, but there is no better way to describe how creativity has become a part of my life. Every person that I have ever known has and always will use this word to describe me through everything that I do. If you have ever seen any of my art or seen me at work when I get an idea in my head, it's almost as if I become a machine that can't stop until I have finished. It may be confusing what I mean by creativity. I mean the thoughts that someone gets during art class when they are given a project and have to create something out of nothing. The thought that a person gets when they're in a dance class just because and they find something that they can do and suddenly can't stop moving. The inspiration that someone can feel from a song or a piece of art that they hear or see on the street when they're walking home from school. When I describe what I think of when I hear the word creativity, I know that for others it must have a different meaning. Maybe to someone else, creative means to do what you want when you want it. It means that you see a picture in your head or hear a word that makes you want to sing or dance or write an entire story and to just go and do it without comprehending what you are trying to achieve before you even have the finished product. Maybe it simply means that you have a mind that can create a beautiful picture or song that can get people to sing along or dance without even thinking about it. It could mean that you can create a story that is represented on a stage, stirring up emotions and making your audience cry, even though they know that it's just a piece of art being shown to them between velvet curtains. To some people, being creative might not even be good enough to mean these things. Maybe creative is just another word that they use to describe something that they have no better word for, like, oh, that's creative. We have all heard stories about someone who saw something that inspired them and went out to do whatever they want, even if it seemed to be too difficult for anyone to ever succeed. When it was too hard for them to continue doing what they set out to achieve, they got an extra job that required long hours of being respectful to people who seemed to hate them, just to be able to buy a burger for the night and to keep a small studio apartment. Sure, they were hardworking people who did not give up on what they wanted to do, but what started them on doing that was the fact that in their minds, they pictured what they wanted to do with their lives and how they wanted to create a piece of art, or how they wanted to be on stage and making tears swell in someone's eyes. In order to start all of this hard work, these people needed to be creative, wanting to create something so beautiful that they could not resist. This is all about someone else doing what they believed was the best thing, but I have my own experiences that have greatly influenced and helped me to grow as a strong and independent person. I was born in Colorado, but at 8 years old, my mother and my father made a decision to separate, and my dad took my sister, my brother, and I to live in Georgia. We lived with our grandparents for half a year before my father found a new home for us that was already inhabited by my soon-to-be stepsister, stepbrother, and stepmother. Throughout this time, we were rarely able to see our mom, and my sister began a downward spiral of running out at night and getting into strangers' cars with my stepsister, who was a terrible influence. My father and stepmother were constantly fighting about how they should handle the situation that my two sisters were in, and we soon realized that our stepmom was an alcoholic, and our house became a place of screaming and violence. Through the experiences that I have gone through, as well as the situations that people have been put through that I have heard about, I have discovered that creativity is the most helpful tool that has constantly been used by each and every person in turn. In my own experiences, creativity is drawing and singing to calm myself down and block out the pain in the world around me.